Ever heard of an SD42ACe? You will after this video. This is the SD42ACe. The Yakusha Railways opened in 2011 as an extension of the Trans-Siberian Railway. They operate from Skovorodino and Tinda in the Amur Oblast of the Russian Federation to Nizhny Bestyak in the Republic of Sakha, or simply Yakusha. The railroad had plans to reach Yakutsk, which was across the Lena River from Nizhny Bestyak, but there were setbacks to construct a combined road and rail bridge across the Lena. They operate only one locomotive class, the EMD/Progress Rail 2TE3250. Now you probably think, well, what is that? It's just a jumble of letters and numbers. Well, it's a Russian classification for a pair of SD70ACe/LCs. The SD70s are also called SD42ACes, which sounds weird. They were built with fuel tanks half the size of a normal SD70ACe, along with a cab-mounted headlight and marker lights on the nose. The fuel tanks run on 20% fuel and 80% gas. The two units numbered 0001 and 0002 were built semi-permanently coupled, so they are basically always together. Assembled in Muncie, Indiana in 2014, they were seen ready for delivery for about 6 years when finally in August of 2020, they were sent on an NS train for export to Russia. They arrived at the far eastern port of Vladivostok in the far eastern region of the Primorsky Krai. They were then shipped to Aldon in Yakusha, which is the headquarters of the Yakusha Railways. And in early 2021, they announced that they were testing the SD42ACe-Rs under extreme Siberian conditions. And in November 2021, they announced that they would be getting 6 more single-section locomotives if the testing proved successful, and that the new ACEs would be manufactured jointly by Progress Rail and Russian machine manufacturer Uralvagonzavod. But shortly after 2021 ended, Russia declared war on Ukraine. Now, I'm not going to get into detail with that, besides that several countries imposed sanctions on Russia, including the United States. Because of the sanctions, Progress Rail was unable to process this order, and since then, SD42s have had a very unpromising future. The follow-up order of 6 was cancelled, and in 2022, the SD42ACe project was abandoned, and the locomotives are no longer in operation. The units are currently stored in Aldon, with the reason for the storage being because of a lack of parts and basic maintenance that is no longer available. So what now? Will the Yakusha Railway die out? Well, no. Despite the SD42ACe being their only power, they have begun investing in Russian-built locomotives such as the 3TE25K2M and the 2TE25 built by Transmash, which do not rely on American support, therefore rendering the SD42ACes obsolete. And because of the continuing sanctions and the geopolitical pressures on Russia, it is nearly impossible in every way to ship the SD42ACes back to the United States, and it's also just unnecessary. And now, the two sit in Aldon in long-term storage as a historical reminder of a more globally calmer world. Thanks for watching, and Dobra Jutra.